Can you just let me finish?
Okay, well, I thought I had, but go ahead.
Okay, y'all, let's take turns and let each other finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the podcast where three minds give their unfiltered and sometimes unpopular opinions on all the craziness going on in our lives and in this world. We're your hosts, Jillian,
Janice,
And Michael.
Settle in and let's take a deep dive.
and welcome to another episode of Let Me Finish. I'm your host, Janice.
I'm Jillian.
And I'm Michael.
All right, and we're on episode 52. And yes, last week you missed us. We had a little bit of a break, but we're back again. And we're going to just jump right in and start off our week. So how did y'all's weeks go? We'll start with Jill.
Let's see here. I started my book.
Another
and
book.
I'm actually down to the last chapter. It is called This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. Loved it. I love this author. I am so happy with this book. So that's going to be another 5 out of 5 star for me.
Ooh.
So I loved it. I just absolutely devoured it. And then
Devoured.
yeah, so then we had the final episode of The Ones Who Live, which is the Walking Dead
the spinoff of Walking Dead. Yeah.
So me and Janice have talked about it, and I'm just like, I did like the episodes. I did like the finale. I think I got my happy ending. I'm totally fine with it. If it doesn't have a second season, I will be totally fine with it. Because it was 6 episodes. I think we agree that episode 6 was a little bit rushed as far as the conclusion in regards to their antagonists in the movie. But because I really do feel in the show, not the movie, I really do feel like episode 4 and 5 was the strongest episodes of the series. Those were my 2 favorite ones, because I think mostly those 2 episodes, it was just the 2 main characters.
They needed more episodes. I feel like it's historically in The Walking Dead, when there is a protagonist and there is a conflict, that conflict or the big war, the big battle between them is 2-3 episodes. This one was 1 at the end.
So you felt kind of gypped.
More like a half, not even. I think more of like a half episode even.
Yeah, it was like a half episode of the conflict resolution.
Actual conflict resolution.
And the way they make it seem is like this is their biggest threat and biggest adversary yet because of how big they are, and they just took them down.
Yeah.
That easily.
Just them two.
It was like their easiest takedown. It was just the 2 of them.
It was just, yeah, I feel cheated out of that, but I agree with Jillian in the sense that I'm still happy that they got a happy ending. So, yeah. And they do have a happy ending.
But I think in the end, I don't think they really, and they didn't have to have that big conflict with the antagonist, because really, honestly, they said that this was a love story. It was just really the purpose of the show was to delve into the couple's relationship, and for that, I'm truly grateful, because I really do feel they were able to work through a lot of things, express a lot of things, and like bring things together from the original series into this one and kind of put a nice little bow on it. So I was just really happy with that, because both characters, of course, left the show before the series finale in the original series. So I feel like, for me personally, it's probably some of the best writing, at least for writing, if Denai Guerrera does not get nominated for an Emmy, primetime Emmy.
Best at writing in Walking Dead series for you?
Yeah, I think one of the top episodes. Some of the top episodes. Yeah, absolutely. That episode, episode number 4. It's very rarely do I go back and watch, whenever a new episode comes out, do I really go back and watch the episode that same week. And that one, because just how good it was, I felt like it had all the emotions. I actually went back and watched it just for the little things, like little, not just the words they were saying, but the certain
nuances.
Looks on the nuances, the look on their faces, because I don't want to spoil anything in case anyone hasn't watched. They're like certain things, like when they're battling walkers and the kind of the little dance they do, where they're in the beginning, they're kind of, because they'd been apart for so long, the miscommunication and the fact they weren't really in sync. And then towards the end, once they kind of worked through their issues, towards the end when they were battling walkers again, they were back in sync again, because they had delved into a relationship and resolved certain things. And I felt like them showing the progression of their relationship was just really beautiful.
So for me, with the episode, just to kind of give my, the breakdown of my 2 cents about how I felt about the series. Like, so for me, I always loved Rick and Michonne. Like, so, and I always needed them to have a love story. I mean, I'm the loser that reads fan fiction and shit like that. So, I mean, like, yes, I'm
that
very
doesn't make you a loser.
Every time I do it almost in secret. So.
She is ashamed.
I don't know why. I feel like it's shame. Like one of those things where like, why are you so obsessed with this? I'm like, I don't know. But I am. And I am the person that goes back and rewatches things over and over.
Me too.
And I
don't. So with Walking Dead, I used to do it all the time. So do I love the move or the show because of how much I love Rick and Michonne? Yes. Do I feel like it did feel like The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. And that's part that I loved about it. Do I feel it was the best? Do I feel like she did an amazing job directing and writing it? Yes. Do I think it was one of the best in the series? There's so many amazing episodes in that series. I can't say. I'd even say top 5.
Now, this is
so many good episodes.
This is so many good episodes. This is 6 episodes versus 11 seasons, which had
20.
On average, about 20 episodes.
20, 16 episodes a season. Why don't you do this every time? We just looked this up last time. I know. It's 8 episodes every part of the season.
Okay.
It's 8 and 8.
And what I'll do is I will pull up and see exactly how many episodes they were because I want to be right.
60.
Walking Dead. Walking Dead.
The funny thing is we just did this the last time we talked about Walking Dead.
So Walking Dead had 177 episodes.
Right. So 16 episodes.
So for me, to be able to come up with a top 10 out of 177 episodes, that's easy. But for them to be able to have a banger when you only had 6 shots at it, just be honest. It was a really good episode. Like I said, episode 4 and 5 were my favorites.
That's what I'm saying. For me, it's just because I love them so much, but you can't compare I don't know. I guess if you're talking about comparing apples to oranges and that's how you feel about it, then yes. But in the overall series, they're my favorite episodes because I love Rick and Michonne. Mm-hmm. For character development, the sake of the show and all of that, so many. Like I said, the best episode is when they took over Alexandria. That's the best episode of the entire series for me. And the Negan series. The Negan series is some of the best material.
Yeah, because there's an overall arc with a new character that comes in.
I feel like the way they introduced, how long they took to introduce it. I mean, yes, but again, I mean, I would love for her to get nominated. I don't see it happening, but I would love it.
I could see her getting nominated, but anyway, so I was
like
I said, I was happy with that series. And then what else? Also, I've been watching women's basketball actually, and
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she's great, but I was rooting for South Carolina, and they end up winning, so I'm excited.
I recently found out who this person, Caitlin Clark, was because I kept hearing about her, and I was like, I got to look her up. And so I watched some of her. I didn't watch the whole game because I don't care. But I watched maybe like 12 to 15 minutes of it, and I was genuinely really impressed by her. She's very talented.
Isn't Caitlin Clark the one that the girl from LSU
kind of put her in her place last year because she was a little bit disrespectful to South Carolina when Iowa beat South Carolina to get to the finals.
That was the whole controversy because they were thinking she was disrespectful. She was like
doing this.
That girl would do the same. Like they all do it. So I'm like, I don't know why they got on Caitlyn for it. I don't feel like they should have got on Caitlyn for it.
So what happened is they didn't get on Caitlyn. They got on Angel Reese. So
they should have got on either one of them.
So I don't think it like I said, it
sports,
was.
Bro.
They did that to South Carolina. She did that to South Carolina.
And then they ended up losing.
And then they ended up getting to the finals and lost to LSU.
So it's embarrassing.
They lost to LSU. And so LSU, Angel Reese, they'd be like, okay, so you know, repeating what she did to South Carolina.
And they got on her. And
there were people saying there was only a reason why you feel like it was okay when Caitlyn did it versus when Angel did it because Caitlyn's white and then Angel is black, so she's not given grace or allowed to.
They shouldn't have got. And that's why I was like, they made it I mean, I'm sure that's the reason why they gave it that kind of energy. But I was like, y'all should just leave these girls alone.
Yeah.
Let these girls play.
Let them
Who
play.
the hell cares?
And,
Yeah, it's a game.
Players
fun.
fucking haggle each other all the time. What's the
Yeah.
problem?
And that was the point. It was just like, why is it a problem when Angel does it when it happens all the time?
Because she beat y'all's Caitlyn, I guess.
Yes,
okay.
that's exactly why.
But
And everybody loves Caitlyn.
Everyone loves Caitlyn. Like you said, she is, to be honest, she's the best player in the tournament. She just wasn't on the best team. Because her team, she carries her team.
She does.
Absolutely carries her team. Like, if it wasn't for her, that team would never have made it to the final. I think there was probably 2 or 3 other teams that would have beaten her.
And I think there's always a thing to say when one player carries a team. That means they're not playing as a team.
And you got to wonder.
Maybe.
You got to wonder, like...
Kind of like Kobe. When you score 80 points in a game, you're not playing as a team.
Yeah. You're playing by yourself.
You're playing by yourself and you're allowing people to assist you.
Yeah. You got to wonder, too, like, surely those girls feel so frustrated that they're not her, or they're recognized for their abilities. Because obviously they're talented, but...
Yeah, honestly, but they're not as talented as her. She'll for sure, she'll declare
Jealousy.
for the WNBA.
Yeah, exactly.
And she'll be the number 1 pick. So you
WNBA.
She's
That's what
already
I said.
she did, yeah. She's also a millionaire already.
Yeah, for the...
Caitlyn is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she has the NIL.
What about Angel?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
she is.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
imagine.
She has
I feel like they're like neck and neck in the women league, right?
The NIL
I'm not sure.
contract.
I'm not sure, yeah.
I don't follow.
Yeah. There's lots of girls that are like
Up there.
Killing it.
up there. I'd be like, damn. So women's basketball. So honestly, I didn't even look at the men's tournament.
Let's just say this, like as far as like that feeling in sports and the double standard. I was at La Peep Girl in Frisco once. And I was wearing a Baylor shirt because I went to Baylor and I graduated from there. Mm-hmm. And the older woman stopped me. She goes, "Hey, oh my God, did you play basketball for Baylor?" No, ma'am, I did not.
What makes you ask that
I
question?
should have, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give you the business today. Just go on about your day, man.
Go about...
Yeah, go on about your day.
In fact, I did not. Thank you.
But I did. I was just like, no, ma'am. Mm-mm.
I...
Went under a scholarship for education. For academics.
Okay.
Okay.
That I lost.
My best friend, Laura Stevenson, who is running for oh my God, I just said Congress. City Council.
I saw that. I cannot wait.
I did not mean Congress.
So
City
cool.
Council.
One day in the future.
Maybe one day. Yeah,
so
she's running for
cool.
City Council in Carrollton. But beside the point, Laura went to OU, and I went to Walmart, which I never do. And I saw an OU shirt, and I was like, that color is going to look so good on me. So I bought it because of the color. And do you know how many times people stop me and they're like, OU, what up? Or they're like, oh, you. And I'm like,
Oh,
fuck.
yeah. They're so into their...
And I'm like, girl, I just like the color on me.
Like, girl, I just like
not
this
even
maroon. It was cute.
It's maroon.
I like that maroon.
In fact,
And this shit was
I'm
on
gonna buy
sale.
me a little I'm gonna buy me a little Harvard shirt if you like the maroon.
Okay.
Just do that. If you gonna
Yeah.
be mistaking me for going to some kind of school, I want you to mistake me for Harvard.
Okay.
Instead of OU, but okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
And there's this, and I guess, but people do it all the time. So I'm like, I don't know why people always, but I guess I do too. Because anytime I see somebody with a Baylor shirt, I ask them, did they go there?
Yeah.
But I ask them,
Did
did
you
you
ask them
go
if they play
there? I
basketball?
don't ask. You know, what did you go to Baylor for? Or did you play basketball? Or did you play a sport? I just say, did you go to Baylor? Because I know people will wear collegiate
Yes.
clothes and not have gone there easy because they're a college collegiate fan of the sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
plenty
they
of
like
people
to
do.
color
Or they
the
just like
sweatshirt.
to, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never ask people. I'd be like, oh, okay, you're a so and so fan. I don't assume they ever go to that particular school.
Well,
'cause
I
you
guess
don't
I do
have
with
to.
Baylor because like who likes Baylor outside the people that go there? They don't win.
I went on a date with a
I
guy.
mean, they did win with Brittany Griner, didn't they? The women's basketball.
Yes, I mean,
they
they
did.
definitely won the championship. She wasn't there the year they won, though.
Yes, they did.
She won the year. They won the year before I got there. The championship, the women's
She was
championship.
on the, Brittany Griner was on the championship team.
Well, Brittany came the year after I did.
Oh, she gonna look it
I'm
up.
just saying. I know the first time that they won that champ. I really don't remember, but I
okay.
know for sure
I'm gonna
they
Google it.
because they won the women's championship the year before I got there, and I got there 2005. So I think they won 2004.
Let's see.
And I don't remember if they won a championship. They didn't while I was there, and Brittany was there while I was there. So unless she won one,
she won an NCAA championship in 2012.
So that was after I graduated. So not while I was there, like I said.
So, and she came there after you.
She came there the year after me. That's why I said I graduated 2010.
Oh yeah, she went from 2009 to 2013. Okay, but I was correct in stating that she won a championship.
I said
Baylor.
she didn't win one. I was there, Chilean.
I said what I said.
And they did not win while I was there.
Okay.
My God. I would have known if they won a championship while I was going to the school. Okay. They make a big deal out of it. They didn't win shit while I was there. Nothing.
Okay. Well, I was not aware of the timeline as far as you and Brittany. Okay, whatever.
And she won it the 09 to 12. She won the 12 one at Baylor or at a different school?
It was Baylor. She only went to Baylor.
She didn't go to a different school?
No. She only went to Baylor.
I thought maybe she did. Baylor wasn't winning.
I went to 7 colleges.
I mean, they use, especially with the sports ones, they get, recruited and drafted and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, because I know for sure. Yeah, I felt like Brittany was there before then, though. She was there like my sophomore year, so I don't know. Maybe she was. I guess she wasn't on the varsity team or whatever. Maybe she was playing on the other. I don't know. She was definitely there my sophomore year because I remember her riding around her little bike.
You sure it was your sophomore year though?
Maybe junior. Maybe, and I guess that would have been 09. Okay.
You graduated in 2010, didn't you?
Yeah.
Here you go.
So maybe my junior year. But I remember her riding her little bike around. Thinking, who is that fine? Oh, it's a girl. Never mind.
Yeah, she's been through a lot, so good for her. But that's
I know. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad she's back home and safe. So
Speaking of people who have been through a lot, me. Just kidding.
No, go ahead, Michael.
I'm totally kidding, but I'm not. So I think we should normalize when people say, like, how are you? Because it's so natural for us to be like, good, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
I certainly do that. I've done that my whole life.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, to use Jillian's favorite expression, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. I've never noticed that. Did she say that
She says it about 16 times an episode. But who's counting?
She's like, oh, here we go. Here's your point.
So,
meaning wrap it up.
Yeah. So, I think we should normalize saying, I'm doing rotten or I'm gutted.
Yeah.
I'm fucking miserable. I can barely stand right now.
Yeah. Just like totally, because I had a really rotten, and we're not going to get into it, but like I had a really rotten couple weeks, and the girls know why, and things will get better. But the point is, you have to acknowledge, just we're all human. We all have shitty weeks. Just be like, it was a shitty week.
Yeah.
It'll get better.
Well, the funny thing is that you say that, Michael, is because I was just talking to somebody about that at work. How like people will be like, oh, good morning, how are you? I'm good, how are you?
Right.
But then I always pick up when someone says, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, you're just fine. What's going on? You're okay?
Right.
You need to talk about it?
Exactly.
Like I immediately, that's my trigger to know, or my key
to ask,
like, oh, well, it's just fine. Maybe it'll get better. What's going on?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it? I
can help you with.
Right.
But I don't push you, obviously. But they're like, no, I'm fine. It's cool. Because I know when I say I'm fine,
that means I'm not.
I'm not fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get through this day.
Yeah.
Do not cross me, or you might get the rage.
Yeah.
And everybody knows who knows me. I can get pretty ragey. So I don't mean to, and I feel bad instantly. But
you shouldn't.
I do, because it's not. A lot of times, it's not their fault.
Well,
you just got caught in crossfire,
and
you just happen to get my wrath. Like, because a lot of times, like, even if somebody's wrong in something, or like something I could address, if I'm having a bad day, my delivery is real aggressive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
I'm surprised you haven't. I'm surprised you haven't.
After
you have
38 years. I have?
Probably. You probably look at it as more like, you know what? She has every right. You probably defend me more. Because we have been friends for so long.
For so long, yeah.
But yeah, people are like, it was a little aggressive. I'm like, well, that's how I felt. Call like I see him.
Yeah. I think we are entitled to our feelings. We just have to,
of course,
be responsible for how we react. Or
Absolutely.
how
I think
our
the
behavior.
delivery.
100%. Agreed, Jillian. Yeah.
Yeah. That's I think that's where you can be angry, upset. How you're entitled to your emotions. It's how it's your behavior. That's the important thing.
Absolutely.
And another thing I was talking to somebody about yesterday, which just to kind of, and it was, so anyway, so I'll say a little bit about my week. So this week I was in a wedding. And I was a bridesmaid. So beautiful. So happy for my friends, Ashley and Chris. Congratulations. Yay. So yeah, it was a super fun wedding. Reception was so fun. All the music. I was like, it's so fun going to weddings nowadays where people like our age, just because it's that millennial music.
Yeah, totally.
So I was like, every song I was like singing and dancing. It was so much fun. So, but one of the things we know when it happens to weddings, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of chaos, anxiety, which this one really wasn't that bad at all. She had a lot of it organized, which that's one thing that she does really well, Ashley, is she organizes and plans everything. But of course that means if anything goes off that plan,
sure,
it kind of freaks her out.
Right.
But I was just talking to them, some of the other people at the party or the wedding, and we're just talking about anxiety and things. And I noticed as I've gotten older, my anxiety's gotten worse. Does that ring true for you guys?
Yep.
Definitely.
Isn't that weird? Yep. You would think as you get older,
you get wiser.
You would not freak out about things as much, but or maybe because when you're younger, you don't realize how fucked up the world is.
Yeah, you know more.
So the older you get, the more you know. It's like the more you know, the more you know.
Yeah. I think the older you get more in tune with your body, and so you can kind of. I can sense it or feel. We've discussed this on the podcast that I do have. I've had issues with anxiety before, and it's this impending dread that you feel. And the older I've gotten, the more in tune I've gotten with my body, I'm able to recognize the signs faster. So I'm able to address it sooner. It still sucks a lot. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to take myself off the deep end, and I take a minute, do my breathing exercise, and be like, it's not the end of the world. I have to remind myself it's not the end of the world. If things don't go my way, I just have to pivot and figure. Because I'm a person, I do not like things to be unplanned. Yeah. And so I think that's Ashley. And so not
I'm like, oh my God, just go with the flow. Damn.
And I don't like that. I don't like it.
So I'm talking about anxiety like. For me, it's social anxiety.
Same.
I used to be extremely social.
Me too.
And I am still social. But I tell you right now, like when people are like party or this event, I'm always like having to like pump myself up for it.
Me too. I'm terrified.
And I'm always kind of like not every event, but a little bit of me is always waiting for the event to end.
Same.
So I can go back to my hole.
And the funny thing is that Janice, even though she has this anxiety, Janice is usually the life of the party.
100%.
And I think
everyone knows that.
And I was just like, you're such a fun person to hang out with.
I think that's the part that gives me anxiety because you have to like live up to it.
The pressure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like you have to live up to like a certain mood or energy. And if I'm not there,
if you're not feeling cheery, people are like, "What's going on, Janice?
What's wrong? Tell me what's going on with your life." And then I think another part of it is my life is not exactly where I would have imagined at my age.
Same.
So when you see people or you haven't seen in a while, they're asking you what's going on. You're like,
I don't want to talk about it.
Same shit.
Yeah.
Same shit, different day. Like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit of that because so now I'm like at this point where I'm like I need to value. I need to just like not. I just need to relax. But so I've just noticed and just when you're talking about like normalizing having a shitty week, like just normalizing that, doesn't matter how social or outgoing you are, you can still have anxiety, you can still, have that part of you.
Oh yeah, because for sure.
The older I've gotten, the worse it's gotten.
Because I think we all have a social battery as well, where certain things, like me personally, I'm a person that I'm slow to warm up to people, but once I'm worn up to you and I feel comfortable around you, we can have fun. We're good. It's Gucci after that.
Yeah.
But because number one thing when people meet me, she goes, "I thought you were so quiet when I first met you." No, I was just sussing you out and figure out if I like you. And once I like you and I feel comfortable about you, then you get the real Jillian.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, yeah, you were so quiet when I first met you. You're just really fun. I'm just like, yeah, because
I feel like the older you've gotten, you just learned yourself better.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, yes, from when we were younger, teenage, like you're more outgoing now, for sure.
Yeah, you're super outgoing.
Because I'm just like, as I realize, I'm like, actually, this stuff is really, whenever I try new things, of course I have serious anxiety when I start something new, because I'm just like, what if I don't like it? What if they don't like me? But once I actually get into it and I'm just like, okay, this is really nice.
That's another thing. Like, now this whole thing, I was like, I need people to like me. And before, I don't really.
Not anymore for me.
I don't need you to like me. I just don't want to be around you if you don't like me.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, if I feel like I'm questioning how you feel about me and you're being two-faced and you're acting like you like me and I can tell probably you don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that. I just don't want to be around you then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine to just not be around you. You don't have to act. You don't have to fake the funk.
And I honestly, there's people that I have been around and I know they don't like me. And I'm like, the older I've gotten, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
I'm not used to people not liking me.
The older I've gotten,
people usually like me.
Yeah, the older I've gotten, now I'm just like, yeah, I don't really like you either. Because mostly people who I don't like, I end up not liking me either. Because they're just like, because I guess they can feel censored from me. Because I'm just like, yeah, there's something about you I don't like. Your energy's off, and I don't like you. So. Yeah, I will definitely act different on people I don't like. Like, I feel like there's something off about these people. So, yeah, I think they're reciprocating back to me what I'm putting out to them, which I'm sorry for anyone who does not like me. It's probably because I don't like you either. So, I'm sorry.
I mean, that's true. I don't think I've ever had somebody that doesn't like me that I'm like, oh, I really like them. I want them to like me. Like, I guess that's not the case.
I've never had that.
I've had the mentality where it's like, if someone doesn't like me, I take things very personally. So if I find out that someone doesn't like me, I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
Like, what did I do?
That's how I feel about Michael, because I'm like more like, what did I even do to you?
Exactly. I'm nice.
It's not, and that's the thing.
I am funny.
Yeah.
I'm outgoing.
Stunning.
I'm beautiful. I'm
Stenosha.
You know, like, I listen. I engage.
You're loving and supportive.
I think it's the aggression that I have when I'm right.
And
or when I argue. I am argumentative, so.
Are you a competitive person, would you say?
Yeah. In my head, though.
Jillian, is she competitive?
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
Is she competitive?
I like to be the best.
At
most things.
Yeah, Janice, is she competitive?
Not sports. Not like physical stuff, but like when it comes to academia or like work or being like right. Or being right, like
that has to be genetic. We're all like that,
and that's the thing. I think that's why me and Jillian get so heated. And I know the audience is like, damn, but we're sisters.
You're sisters.
We have very similar personalities in that sense. Mm-hmm. And that's why even when Stacey was here, like, we're all like, it's alliance thing. Like, my mom's side of the family is alliance family. We're all argumentative.
Really?
Like, very all much. Of us.
How funny.
It's bad. It's bad. But the thing about it is, we're like,
holidays are different, you know.
But we're also not the family. We'll get in big arguments, but we're also not the family that get in big arguments and like get mad.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of families.
We don't.
Like, we could get in an argument and finally we'd be like, you know what, forget it. And then 5 minutes later, be like, so, you know, what are we eating over here?
Like, when we were in South Carolina for our cousin's ceremony for his command sergeant major retirement, we got in the biggest debate at the next day at his house when we did a barbecue. It was probably like 2 hours. And we sat there debate. And argued for like 2 hours.
Yes.
And
that's longer than presidential
at the
debates.
End, we were like, okay, bye. We're catching our flight. Love ya. See you soon. We got to do this more often.
Because we thrive off of that shit. I feel like we do. We really thrive off of that shit.
I think that's how we bond.
Yes.
We sit around the table and talk shit.
Yes, we do.
And debate. That's what we do.
That is absolutely what
Somebody
we do.
told me at work that I always have to be right. And I always need to know what's going on. I was like, Yeah, that's probably true.
True.
Do you know what I realized about myself at 36?
And I'm trying my best to fix it. At least the I'm always right part.
Look, if that's your biggest fault, come on. Like, it's not bad.
I agree. It's hard to work with somebody like that, and I know I'm trying to get better because obviously I'm trying to progress my career.
We're all trying to get better.
So I'm like, let me hear people out. Let me not cut them off and be like, no, do it this way. I'm done.
And it's funny because I don't see you that way, but I guess I don't know. Maybe
I
I
had
don't.
multiple people tell me I'm condescending at work.
Oh,
Really?
I've never thought you were condescending.
I don't mean
Maybe
to
you're
come
not
off
to me.
condescending.
Yeah.
I mean to come off like I don't want to talk about this anymore. I've got to move on.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Period. Yeah.
That's just the girl boss in me.
Yeah. I don't
Right?
think there's anything wrong with
Because
that.
I feel when men do it, it's never taken as that, right? As
Nah.
being condescending.
No, it's because it means he's assertive. And
It's assertive, or you don't mess with him,
Right. He's a leader.
or just get it done. They don't argue back with them,
Right.
So I'm like,
He's not a bitch.
when I'm like in a certain role and you're trying to talk back or tell me, I'm not asking for your opinion. If I was asking for it, I'd ask for it.
Okay.
I don't
better tell
say
him.
that.
You better
but
tell him.
I say,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. If I'm asking you to do something, you can give me your rebuttal on it. But once or your objection. Once I give you my rebuttal, I'm not asking you to keep giving me more objections.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to get it done. Because can I go and do that to my owner?
No.
I can give my opinion to her, but at the end of the day, when she says get it done, get it done.
Yeah, it doesn't work
And that's
like
how I
that.
feel like it should be looked at for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what you were about to say, biggest thing you've learned at 36. What was that?
The biggest thing I've learned at 36 is that I totally can't remember.
Darn it.
I remember now. Okay, that was easy. So I've learned at 36 finally that I just forgot it again.
Oh shoot! I do that all the time. You try to keep talking to see if it's gonna come back to you, and then you're like, "Never mind."
No,
It obviously
We'll
was
circle back.
We'll
I
circle
I
back.
had
Yeah.
like a little nugget of it, and you're like, "Nope,
Nope.
it's still
I
gone."
thought it was there, but nah.
Okay.
Learned at 36. I mean, I told like being right was it something along
Yeah,
those
it was
lines.
something about yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. I remember now. So I've always told myself that I don't like drama. That I'm not someone who is, participates in gossip. That I'm not someone who.
Anybody that they don't participate in gossip is lying.
You're lying.
I was lying to myself all these years. I was like, other people are like, oh, I love drama. It's so like, and I'm like, oh, I hate drama.
No.
But I absolutely love it.
You love the
good
other
stuff.
people's drama. You don't
Yes.
like drama in your own life.
I don't like drama in my own life. I got enough of it, but I love other people's tea. Like if someone's
Okay, so is that drama or is it just hearing what's going on? What's
so
going
there's
on
a
with you?
difference. There's a difference between tea and drama, and let me tell you what
love
the
tea.
difference. So tea is like, did you hear that Samantha did such and such? That's tea. It's not. Now, if you're saying, did you hear that Samantha
Did so and so, and she's
Right.
this and that,
She's a
and
slut.
I can't believe her.
right?
And we should all excommunicate.
Exactly. When you're talking negatively about someone, that's throwing shade. That's being dramatic. But when you're just like spilling tea, it's like, oh, did you hear about
Such and such happened.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Oh,
Oh,
girl.
my
Can you
God.
believe this?
Oh, they did this.
They did this.
Oh, they
yeah.
went here. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, girl, I just heard, girl. That's
And
all I-
every day at work, I'm not kidding. Every single day, my friend Taylor and I, it's a girl, spill tea. So like she'll come to my cubicle.
tea.
She'll come to my cubicle and she'll be like, "Guess what?" And I'm like, "What? Tell me now." And she's like, "Samantha did such and such." And I was like, "Stop it." Yeah.
Shut your fucking mouth.
But I'm here for it, and then I've got stuff to tell her too. I'm like, guess the fuck what?
Now, let me ask you this. Is the tea about work that you're spilling, or is it just
It's about
other
people
tea?
at work.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. And then they turn around and tell us not to do that. I'm like, come on now.
But everybody does
Everybody
it.
does
I don't
that.
care what. You know what?
Everybody spills tea.
I watched 6 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, and quite frankly, 4 of those seasons were too much. But anyway, I watched 6 seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, well, they're
And-
like episode. They're in like season 20, Michael.
There's like
I know.
20 seasons.
I
So
did
if
not
4
like
was too
season
much, God forbid what's going on in those other 6.
I liked season 3, 1 through 3. Anyway, besides that, I know that even doctors spill tea. They throw shade. Like,
People talk about people all the time.
I dated 2 doctors, and both of them were like, this fucking
What?
guy
You
that I work
dated
with.
doctors?
2 doctors.
You didn't lock that shit down?
Girl.
Oh my God.
One of them was closeted. So I had
would've-
to literally pretend to be his friend. I'm not even kidding.
Oh no.
Yeah, y'all, it was
That
bad.
sucks. Well, you know who has all the tea? Them nurses.
Oh, they got tea.
They got all the tea.
And they
Girl,
spill it.
The funny part is the ones who have all the tea are the quietest ones because all
It's
they do
always
is
the quiet ones.
sit down and just
And
collect
listen,
the tea.
they collect it.
They be
got
like,
it.
"Oh yeah, I know," but they just keep going. You gotta
What about
dig it
it?
out of them.
They're typing.
Yeah, I know.
What about it? Girl, that's old news.
But oh no, that happened like 2 months ago. Oh, I saw when they came in. I was just in here typing, minding my business. I'm walking, and that girl, I just looked to the side, and I saw him pull him in, and I said, "Uh oh, something going on." That's how I feel. Somebody said something the other day, and they're like, "You heard that all the way over there?" I was like, "Always listen." I said, "Always keep that in
You
mind."
got a loud voice. I can hear you.
If first of all, for me, anything I'm talking about, you probably don't know, but I'm talking about other people. If I'm in earshot and you want to be in secret,
It ain't gonna happen.
trust me, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Trust me, my ears. It doesn't matter what I look like I'm doing. I'm listening.
Ears up, eyes out.
Like that's how you stay informed.
Yeah. You gotta know.
Like some people, are like, how'd you find out? I was like, girl, I just overheard. I just saw them walking this way and that way, going all fast, and I just started being just better paying attention. What's going on there? But not saying anything so they don't get alerted to stop doing what they're doing.
I had
I
a
need to keep
friend
going.
tell me recently, you know, when people tell you, like, did you hear that Samantha? I don't know a single Samantha, by the way.
That's good. That's why you're using
Yeah,
the
that's
name.
why I'm saying it.
Good.
Did you know Samantha did such and such? She's such a stupid bitch. You know that they're doing that about you to other people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
If
people
they're
who
doing
spill
it-
the most tea.
They're saying,
Spill
did
your
you hear
tea."
Michael,
Mm-hmm.
you know, did such and such, or, you know, whatever. Like, that's disconcerting because I'm like, oh no, I participate in that.
My favorite thing to say at work now is, "Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure."
Yeah.
Keep me out
or
of
say
it.
what Mariah Carey says.
Because at
I
this
don't
point,
know
I'm like,
her.
just keep me out of it. I don't know. I'm not
Mariah
quite sure.
Carey doesn't want any of it.
But I know all of it. And I'll be like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
No, damn well that person got let go 2 weeks ago. Oh, I don't know. Are they still here?
Did that
I thought
happen?
they are.
I had no idea.
My bad. Anyways, this is gone. But that was my week. Wedding, fun.
Yeah.
Michael, I think just his rough week. We're
Yeah,
not
it was
gonna
a
get
rough
into
week.
it.
But the good thing is I'm better now. You know, I was in my feels. I ate some, you know, sweets and a junk, and I'm good. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Here
we're
you
good.
go.
Get your feelings real
Reset.
quick.
On to the
reset
next.
onto
Yeah.
the next, up and forward, as I like to say.
Yep.
But-
Boobs out.
Chi-Chi's up. That was from Floribama Shore, by the way. Love that show.
okay.
Did you ever watch? I think you watched that, Jillian. Oh,
I heard it somewhere. I
It's
didn't-
so freaking ratchet and country, but it's so funny.
Janice, you know me. If it's reality TV, I probably haven't seen it.
Yeah, but you were kind of into the one I was just watching, The Valley.
I was just like, so what's going on here?
Girl, that's
So
how you get
she's-
into it.
Yeah, because I was
You're
just
like,
like,
wait, what?
if I do watch
She
reality,
did what with who?
yeah, I have to watch it with Janice because I'm just like, girl, what's going on? Because I
And
don't know
I'll be
what's
like,
going on.
Girl, so da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he said this, and then now look at him. Because actually, the funny thing is, and this is my last thing before we go into our main topic, I swear. So on the show, and you have to tell me what you think about this, Michael. So the girl was like joking with the guy at the party, and because they were doing tattoos at the party. So she's like, I want to do my tattoo first, please. It's gonna be really quick. He's like, no, I've been waiting, da-da-da. And she goes, oh, and she like reaches out and like twists his nipple, like, ugh, asshole. And you know what he does? He twists her nipple back.
Oh, that's not appropriate.
I said, oh.
And
And he's a married man, and his wife is there.
that was inappropriate.
It was inappropriate.
So inappropriate.
It's different when you do it to a man. It's
So
playful.
Jillian was like, he touched at first, and then I kind of explained it. But she said, well, she touched him first. I was like, not the same.
Not the same.
My nipples are always covered. Yours
Yeah.
can be out at any moment.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
Totally different.
And when she
When-
explained it, I'm like, You're right. I mean,
My nipples are considered inappropriate to be seen.
My thing is that don't ever put your hands on anyone. Right. He was totally wrong, but don't put your hands on anyone. That's my default.
I don't care. We're friends.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm the same way.
And then I had to go with a relative. I was like, if I pinch his nipple, it's a joke. I'm his cousin, but if he pinches mine, that's like incest.
Assault.
What are you doing?
I'm like, when she said that, I'm like, ooh, yeah, you're right.
And honestly, to be honest, I wouldn't pinch any man's nipple. But if I did, it wouldn't be like,
it would clearly be a joke.
It wouldn't be like, oh, I'm uncomfortable right now.
No,
because I guarantee you, if any man reached out and touched my nipple, I'd be like,
excuse you?
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Here? Yeah,
there's a big difference.
See, a huge difference.
But anyway, so that's the reality TV show we watch. It's called The Valley. It's on Bravo. It's a spinoff of Vanderpump Rules. So, all right, guys. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back and talk about our main topic, which is Diddy. What the hell is gonna happen with that man? He finna go to jail, y'all.
Okay.
So, quick break. We'll be right back. And we are back, and we're jumping right in. We're talking about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Love Combs, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Pop, whatever.
It's probably why he keeps changing his names, because all this damn legal issues he's going on. So he's trying to hide from the law. So recently, Diddy's house was raided by the feds and
Homeland Security.
Maybe you should describe it, because I'm not quite sure what they did.
Okay, so he wasn't at his house. It was multiple properties, I guess they raided. And so it was raided by Homeland Security. And one of the properties, two of his sons was there, Justin and Christian was there. And they weren't arrested, but I think they did handcuff him while they were searching the property. I believe this was in Miami I'm not 100% sure. I think it was Miami. And so they were saying that pretty much they're accusing him of sex trafficking women. So he had flown out of the country, I don't know, to evade capture.
Do you think he would got a heads? I'm sure he did. I'm sure he has his arm stretches pretty far within the law.
Yeah. So I feel like he saw this coming, because we talked about this
Cassie,
the end of last season, with Cassie and her lawsuit. And even though she did sign a non-disclosure agreement whenever she settled her lawsuit, it did not prevent her from talking to law enforcement about what she went through as well. So I think he knew something was going on, or I don't know if his lawyers kind of gave him a heads up. He'd be like, hey, this is what you can anticipate could possibly happen to you, whenever he was making the settlement. So whatever is going on, I feel like people have been talking about Diddy and his weird behavior. I know 50 Cent has talked about him and his weird behavior.
And that's saying something.
Yeah. And
50 Cent.
And then Cat Williams, when he was on Shannon Sharp's podcast, he specifically said, hey, you have got to watch yourself around P. Diddy. And he did say this is the year of truth. So he felt like, yeah, some people are going to get caught up, because the truth's going to come out about their real behavior. And I feel like...
So, real quick, just not to take to interrupt you. Can you go back and elaborate more on the Cat Williams stuff that he said? Do you know?
So, Cat Williams specifically said, like, he made a comment like, hey, I've turned down $50 million to party with certain people. And he goes, and he specifically said, I had to turn down $50 million to party with Diddy, because I got to protect my virgin asshole. And so, meaning that whatever he's into
involves
everyone can catch a stray. So I was just like, damn. And people have been commenting that maybe Meek Mills has been involved with him, and other celebrities have been involved with him.
What?
And
what about Ja Rule?
I don't know.
Well, one thing I know is with Usher, Usher lived with him for a while when he was a teenager.
I feel like Usher's a little gay.
They called it. I definitely do. I think Diddy turned him out.
For real?
Yeah, as a child. I do. From the things I've read, I'm like, nah, he probably did. And they called it like Diddy's little school for boys or something like that. There's an expose. I need to go and watch it. But apparently there's an expose about Diddy and his little school. And I guess I mean, that's just the term they're using. I don't know. I'm sure it wasn't called that, but
oh my God.
But apparently, Usher was involved. So I'm interested to hear what Usher has to say.
I think Usher's a big ol' mo, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think so.
Yeah, because I think...
Yeah, I do.
I think we've always...
I mean, maybe not like just straight...
Maybe bi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he does like women too. I just think that...
He's also into dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he's entitled to. It's your sexuality, it's your sexuality. But I think we've all known about P. Diddy for a long time. Because, Aubrey O'Day, she's very
Aubrey
much
O'Day
been...
always bringing the alarm on somebody. I love that. Oh.
She do.
I love that girl. She be telling all the tea.
For real.
I don't know who that
Aubrey
is.
O'Day from Danny Kane.
Yeah. She was
dating. She was dating Donald Trump Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and she dated.
She crazy. But I think it's because all the shit she's seen in Hollywood. That girl's crazy.
Yeah, so she was in dating.
She used to be normal.
Really?
Yeah, she did. When she first started on making the band, she used to be normal.
Oh,
Totally.
wow. I didn't know that
Very
part of her.
And we talked about this. We talked about this when we talked about Cassie's lawsuit. Like, we should have seen this. We shouldn't be surprised because we've seen it on television when we were talking about making the band and the way he would treat the contestants.
I'm not surprised on any of the things coming out about him right now.
I'm not either.
Not at all.
If you told me that
Are you, Jill?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No, I just feel
If
like
you told me what?
that he was, molesting children, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Honestly, at this point with Hollywood, sadly,
I know
anybody that comes out, especially like older, more influential people, like Diddy, Dan Schneider,
sure,
Harvey Weinstein. I'm like never surprised. Bill Cosby, like I'm not surprised anymore.
Do you know the one that's
by Bill Cosby?
No, I wasn't.
I wasn't
I'm not surprised by any of them because because with more power and like arms to reach in different areas and cover things up with the status. They're able to, so you don't know what people are into. I
was a little surprised, not extremely, but a little surprised at Armie Hammer, the fact that he likes to suck blood. That's a little weird.
Okay, but so with Armie though,
weird but not illegal.
Was it?
It's just a little.
But did he confirm? Did he confirm it?
Well,
was it just text? Like, do we know it happened, or was it like weirdly talked about?
There were multiple women that claimed that he bit them and sucked their blood.
Oh, he did it.
He did it to them.
He didn't just talk about it.
No, the allegations were that he apparently exchanged texts saying, "I want to like."
So to me, and I'm not saying it's normal. I'm not saying it's normal at all. But it's a kink.
Is it?
It's obviously his, and it's not illegal.
But what makes a kink a kink?
And if you want to taste blood, that's totally on you. Like, it's weird.
But what about the girl?
I mean,
she wasn't expecting it.
They didn't expect it. They were talking about it over text before. Well, some of them were.
Yeah.
So
I guess they thought he was.
They put themselves in that situation because I know for me, the moment you say you want to suck my blood, I don't really want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, it's a turn
I don't
off.
really care if you're a celebrity or not. And those girls
and he's hot.
He is very attractive man. Very attractive man. But I think when it comes to Hollywood, which just so you guys know, apparently there's a new episode of The Quiet on Set coming out. But I think when it comes to Hollywood, nothing is surprising to me anymore.
Me neither.
Nothing.
Literally nothing.
It's so dark and depraved.
Yeah.
And that's just that's Hollywood. That shit happens like
everywhere
next door to us.
If I found out Betty White,
you just never know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Betty White. What?
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I didn't. If Betty White, if I found out she was a sodomite, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm just saying you can't put anything past anybody anymore, much less people in Hollywood where they have the money, the fame, and the notoriety to go and really do what. And I think when they get to that level, they feel like nothing is off bars or out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like, I should be able to do whatever I want. I have X amount of money. Like,
power.
And it's just the more you get, the more you want. Like, maybe I like doing this, but now that I had this, now I want to take it to the next step further. And it's just like you keep going down this rabbit hole in this darkness, and you just keep going. So that's why I'm like, nothing is surprising, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure like half of those men they're not just like born pedophiles.
Right.
They were just like, I want women. I want young women. I want women who won't talk back. Like, I think it's just a progression. I don't think they're necessarily pedophiles, but obviously, I mean, if you're 16, 17, it's still pedophilia.
Yeah.
However, it's not the same as somebody who's just always liked little girls. I think it's something that's learned for them.
And I think also when you come any level, you come and have any level of power over someone, no matter what industry you're in, you eventually get surrounded by people who aren't or can't willing.
Yes,
or can't,
they're yes men.
Yeah, they're not able to, can't or won't say no. So when you remove that mechanism where you don't have anyone telling you no, all of a sudden nothing's off limits for you.
Totally.
And I think that's where Diddy.
That's where
went.
the danger is.
I think him, like, he's one of the most
famous,
to me, iconic people.
Totally.
From our generation.
Totally.
And from the time Diary of a Video Vixen came out, it was a book written by, I forget her name, something with a K. Corinne Steffens.
Yeah.
She wrote a book. This was like early 2000s. Like, I was in high school still when this book came out. And she talks about Diddy parties and the white parties. And so many other celebrities have talked about the white parties. And like how like there's this like part of it. Like it's like dark.
Yeah.
Like
underhanded.
It's like R. Kelly like dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you, and it's like they say like at a certain time, it's like it just gets like, it's like almost like those like the voyeur type clubs.
Totally.
Where all you do is watch people have sex.
Damn.
Kevin Spacey did not shock me at all because I met him and he was a total asshole. And so I was not surprised when I found out that he likes to touch people inappropriately.
Children.
I remember when you said that story. I'm like, really? Oh my God, Michael.
I know.
My
he was
thing about
so
it
mean
is,
to me.
and I will say just from my perspective, like you don't, just because you're an asshole doesn't have to mean that you do that. But,
right.
But at the same time, again, it's like an entitlement piece to the assholism.
Exactly.
To where you're like, nothing's off limits for me.
Totally. Yeah.
I can do whatever I want. I can talk to whoever I want. I can be sexual with whoever I want.
Right.
And nobody better say anything to me because I am him.
Yeah.
It's like almost that like I am, and that's almost like a Jesus reference, but that's how I feel like they begin to feel. Mm-hmm. Like Diddy, I'm sure feels that.
Shamar
up until
Moore.
Now.
If you guys know Shamar Moore.
What's wrong with Shamar Moore?
What happened to him?
So I have some tea to spill about him.
Oh, spill it.
So my girlfriend, my friend that's a girl, feels weird saying girlfriend. Sarah, I lived with her in Los Angeles for 6 years, and she was picked up by Shamar Moore. She's beautiful. She's a light-skinned black girl, very beautiful. He found her at a Whole Foods or something and invited her to his house.
And she went.
Oh. So guess what she found there?
What?
11 other girls that he planned to
have like a big orgy with.
Yes. And she literally left and said, I'm sorry. I thought you invited me over. Did not realize you invited other people. And so she left, and she came. I was home when she got home. She was like, so there were 11 girls there in his pool. And I was like, what? Because she was like, he was so hot. She was like, she would have smashed him for days. Because he's
beautiful.
He's a beautiful man.
He's beautiful.
And look.
But it makes you think that's why he thinks he can have 11 or 12 girls have sex with him in one night, because he's Shamar Moore.
And my point is, look, you do you, boo. Like, he's not molesting anyone. He's just consensually.
It's consensual. If you want to have a big orgy with all these women,
and they're willingly doing it. So, like, my point is,
and he's D-list,
right?
Maybe C.
What? He has his own show.
Oh,
Jillian. People probably don't even know who Shamar Moore is in a very in a certain setting.
Yeah.
So B-list, not A-list, but B-list.
C for sure. C.
Aww.
C.
I mean, he's fine.
Like, he's fine. He's done some movies. The Brothers. I had to see what is it? That one show, not CSI. The other one,
Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
He's on SWAT right now,
but he's definitely not.
Nah,
he's Kathy Griffin level for sure. For sure.
She said Kathy Griffin.
I'm just saying, she's like the face of D-list celebrity.
She is.
And I think he's right there.
And she knows it too. She
feeds into
embraces
it. And I think that's perfect for her because that's where she's making her money.
Yeah, she's like the Andy Dick
do
of the
it, girl.
female. She's Andy Dick.
Do it.
Oh my god.
Do it. Like feed into that shit. I would.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
It's better than being a D-list celebrity.
Okay.
I'll take D. D's make money.
Yeah, they do.
So, but I think that's horrible. I hate to hear that about Shamar. Well,
Yeah.
Shamar. I mean,
actually, no. Do I
as
hate to
long
hear
as-
about him?
it's consenting
He's
adults.
Sure,
to you.
but I mean,
He's just a little bit of a whore.
He was single.
I 100% expected that. That I wouldn't think anything different.
I mean, imagine.
I wouldn't think that Shamar Moore would invite me to his house and I would be the only one. Like, you'd be like, oh my God, Janice, I really like you and I really want to get to
he's
know
like,
you.
I
wouldn't
want
do
you
that.
part of my orgy.
Yeah, and I would have been like, okay.
And here's the thing: those
kidding.
girls that were there, they were like, "What? Yeah."
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, bitch. What do you
That's the
think
part
is
of me
gonna
that
happen?
always wants to be like, damn, I wish I was into women.
Right.
Probably have a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
my gosh.
but imagine being Shamar Moore, like knowing that
Oh my
you
gosh.
look like that.
By the way, this girl that was at the wedding, Lakin wasn't there, and she was like, "Oh, your girlfriend didn't come." I was like, "Oh, my best friend." She's like, "Oh, I thought that was your girlfriend." I was like, "So you know her like 6 years? You thought I was a lesbian this whole time?" Lets you know how many men I bring around.
Wow. Wow.
Well, not that I see this girl often. Like I never see her. It's a friend of the bride, but I thought it was funny because the fact that she just thought I was a lesbian this whole time, I
That's
thought it was hilarious.
hysterical.
Like, no.
That is
I was
hysterical.
like, well, no, but I should be at this point.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
I'd
it
be
may make
married.
things easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happily, probably by now, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting because, like I said, whenever it comes to Hollywood, nothing surprises me anymore. I feel like I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop on some other celebrity. But I feel like with
And it's
Diddy,
gonna keep happening.
Yeah, it's gonna keep happening. I think with, like I said, Cat Williams did say this. Hey, this is a year of truth. I think a lot of people are gonna get caught up, and people are gonna start feeling more and more comfortable outing people's bad behavior and be like, you know what, screw it, I don't care what happens, this person needs to be exposed for what they do. And at the end of the day, I feel like, am I hopeful that he'll get punished for his crimes? I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say no. I feel like even though the people were saying, yeah, if he just got raided, an arrest warrant has not been issued for him and no official charges have been pressed against him, I think at the end of the day, I feel like with him, even though they say that Homeland Security, if they're bringing charges against you, I think they have like an over 90% conviction rate. Like any federal agency, like FBI, DOJ, they have over a 90% conviction rate whenever they bring charges against anyone. So if it's the feds, you're screwed.
That's what I'm saying. I think at this point, something's going to happen. I don't think they do that kind of stuff unless something's going to happen. I don't know what it is that's going to happen, but
something.
He's going to be held accountable for quite a few things.
Yeah,
it seems like it. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, he'll probably find some kind of deal, but whatever. But at the end of the day,
of course, he has money, but you're going to still be held accountable for what you did, even if you pay it off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Your reputation is tarnished.
Yeah,
It's been
but I think
tarnished.
that's I would say. I think his reputation has been tarnished. I think people have been knowing what Diddy's been up to and doing,
Right.
especially after the Cassie thing. I mean, that just like confirmed it all. Like that man settled that lawsuit so
fast.
quick
'Cause he was like-
he fucking knew.
Yeah.
He fucking knew. And what is happening to him now would have happened at a grander scale had he not settled.
yes.
That.
And also, we were
Because I
talking
think
about.
Cassie has all the tea.
Yeah.
And I think also we were talking about the conspiracy theory. It was like, I feel like he maybe did have something to do with whatever happened between the Pac and Biggie.
I mean, obviously he was involved.
Directly involved in one or both of their deaths. I feel like
Even if he wasn't directly involved, he was involved. You know what I mean? That was Biggie's best friend.
and that's
I
the
didn't
thing.
know that.
I think
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
I think
Like Puff Daddy put, oh no, sorry.
Biggie?
Biggie put Puff Daddy on the map.
I did not know that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
absolutely.
of, like Biggie's videos and stuff, P. Diddy is there. Even his freaking wife and mother of his child are in his videos and stuff.
I did not know that.
Oh, they were best friends.
So I think
Wow.
I think when it comes to, I'm not sure about like, I won't say
good
he was
friends, I don't know.
100% involved in Tupac's death, but when it comes to Biggie, I feel like this is my own personal conspiracy theory. My theory as far as what happened,
Don't question it.
yeah, meaning don't make this gospel and thinking I have some kind of proof. This is just my sixth sense.
Your conspiracy theory.
My spider sense, just
Tingling.
yes.
What?
So my thing is, I think what happened is that Biggie was looking more into his contracts and finances, and maybe thought that Puff was screwing him over, and was planning an exit. And Puffy's like, "Nah, you ain't not going nowhere." Because one thing's for sure,
Biggie was planning his exit.
Yes, and I feel like that was his cash cow, and I feel like he killed him to make sure he could still profit from his music long after his death. I'm just like,
that's crazy to think that
he's worth. I feel like Puffy felt like, he's worth more to me dead than alive.
So he's basically that woman who killed Selena. Because that's why she killed Selena.
Did she mean to kill her though?
I think there was a confrontation, and
I don't think there's a whole thing with that. I don't actually think the woman loved her so much. I don't really think she wanted to kill her. I think she was just trying to I don't think. I mean, she definitely killed Selena. I don't think it was like a personal "I hate you, Selena." It was more like, or "I want to benefit off of you." It was like a obsession that pushed her. And if you're not going to be my friend and I can't be around you, then nobody can be around you. Type shit.
Yeah,
she was just obsessed with her.
I think it was an impulse thing. It was definitely not
You
premeditated.
think she was a lesbian?
Maybe.
I don't know if she's a lesbian, because you can love somebody and not love them in that way. So obviously it was an obsession. You were the president of her fan club. It was an obsession.
Yeah, she was stealing from her.
And then you were stealing from her and she confronted you. It was like, I don't want you to hate me, so I need you to I almost act like this didn't even happen. And then when it wasn't going down that way, I think it was just impulsive. I don't think that
in the moment.
Yeah, I don't think it was pre-planned.
Interesting.
At all. But anyways, we're just gonna get into our final thoughts about everything when it comes to Diddy. So as far as or the situation with Diddy. So the situation with Diddy, bro, I hope they get him.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people are like, "Oh, leave Diddy alone." I'm like, I feel like if you've been sex trafficking in any capacity,
whoever you are,
you need to be got. If he's doing it, he needs to be got. I think if they've raided his home and did all this, they have a lot of evidence towards him anyways. And it's been this secret known fact in Hollywood for a long time. I'm who I am, and I've been knowing and hearing about Diddy parties, and I'm nobody. So the fact that it's being brought to light and things that have been done, and
it's of course
I'm here for it. Just like I was here for it when R. Kelly got busted. I was here for it when Harvey Weinstein got busted.
Bill Cosby.
I'm here for it when any person who does depraved, outlandish shit gets theirs. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
so
me too.
That's how I feel about Diddy.
Me too.
Get yours. You deserve it.
Well said.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, because we talked, like I said, we talked about it whenever Cassie had our lawsuit, because it was such a quick turnaround. They were like, damn, we were going to talk about it.
And we did
she
it.
settled that week. We were like, we're going to talk about Cassie and the lawsuit.
It was
and
Thursday.
It was time to record, and we're like, oh, she settled already. So I feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to Diddy, I feel like I'm glad that someone's taking it seriously. Hopefully this will prevent suffering in the future from any other women from experiencing things that he's done to other women, because when we went through and detailed things she alleged in her lawsuit, I'm like, and that's his quote unquote his girlfriend. I can't even imagine for the woman just passing by, the one that didn't. I feel like Cassie, because she was famous, had some kind of power. Well, honestly, not a lot,
not
but
power,
even a little bit
notoriety to make waves.
Exactly.
Make waves, and maybe able to, when she had the courage to be able to put a plan in place to be able to escape him safely, where maybe others didn't have that opportunity to have their voice heard. So for that,
I agree.
Yeah, so I can't even imagine what other women have gone through. And in fact, there is a current lawsuit that's been filed against his son, Christian, and him, which another woman alleges that she was sexually assaulted by, I don't know if one or both of them.
Wow.
Or there's some other John and Jane Doe's
son tag team. Ew.
Yeah.
No,
God.
It's repulsive.
Which they did. It's Christian and P. Diddy plus some other Jane and John Does that are included in the lawsuit. So we'll see where that kind of leads. They're saying right now it's a frivolous lawsuit there's no merit to it. So we'll have to go through and if there's an actual trial, if there's a settlement, we'll see. Maybe more details will come out. But for me, my hope at the end of the day is that Puff Daddy does end up doing time because just for the stuff he did to Cassie. How I'm like, you're lucky you're not in jail for that. What it was admitted in that, what she accounted for, what she stated in her lawsuit, just for that alone, you should be in jail.
Well, I'm
He's
just
a
glad
bold man.
he's getting humble his ass. Please.
Totally.
Yeah.
Humble his
Totally.
ass.
Mm-hmm.
He's always just been to me. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him, but he just seems like a douche.
Like a
He
dick.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
think
he
he's just
presented
very
himself.
entitled.
Yeah.
Very entitled. Very do what I say.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't give a fuck what you think.
Exactly.
Like, I don't like that about him.
Yeah.
Even just little clips and stuff are making the band, and even though I don't know, there are times where I was like, I agreed with him, but it's just you can be right, but how you're right is wrong.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Yeah.
So there were things that he did with Danny Kane. I was like, well, yeah, obviously a lot of control, but at the same time, he makes it seem like because I'm who I am, you can't have an opinion and do what I say, and don't question me. And as much as I talked about that earlier, but at the same time, these are still humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not the end all be all. Whatever you say, people always have the right to say, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Is he in his 50s?
Shit.
He's gotta be.
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, if you can. I'm just curious.
Gotta be in his 50s. Probably early 50s.
He's been around
Probably
since we were
I would
middle
say 51,
school.
52.
Yeah, we were in middle school when he was
But he was probably in his 20s then.
That's true. Yeah,
He's probably late 20s.
That's probably true. Yeah.
I would venture to say he's around Stacey's age. Probably 10 or so years older than me. No? Older? Or
She's 67.
well, Stacey's nowhere near that.
No.
Just to be clear.
Oh, what's going on with the internet?
Nowhere near. Stacey's 10 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would think Diddy would be
Older than her.
her.
Yeah.
Which would probably put him
Hey, it's
right
saying
around
no
50.
internet connection.
maybe early 40s. I don't know. The box is working. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Let me
going
look
on
it
with
up.
my laptop.
All right. Let me see.
Yeah, my cell phone is not connected to your Wi-Fi.
If I had to guess,
Diddy
I would say
age.
53.
Okay. 54.
Oh.
Yep.
54.
He's 54.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
well,
I'm
54
I
is
feel
finally when life's catching up to you.
I guess so.
We're doing all
we'll
that
see what
shit.
happens, but hopefully he'll be in a jail cell with R. Kelly.
Yeah,
so.
November 4th, 1969, he was born. So, anyways, guys, so that's our unfiltered opinion about P. Diddy.
Capital U.
I think we had a lot of offline conversations about it that got a little bit more intense, but you guys got the gist, the main part, the important part. So, but anyways, guys, we're gonna get out of here. It's Sunday night. I know I have to work in the morning.
I do too.
I have to sleep.
Michael has to sleep. He came right here after work, so he's a
12-hour
trooper.
shift, yeah.
He's a trooper. So we're gonna get out of here, get out of your hair, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on the latest episode of Let Me Finish. Thank you guys for joining us for another week and listening to the latest episode. Don't forget, go share, and subscribe on your favorite platforms. And you guys can also follow us and see us on different platforms. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be Uniquely Janice. And then I'll also be on TikTok, Janice H, GENICEH. Michael, where can they find you?
I'm only on Instagram, and it's Kasra Salimi. And by Kasra Salimi, I mean Kasra Writes, because I changed it and I just forgot. So it's Kasra Writes, WRITES.
Yes. Jillian, where can we find you?
Instagram as well, and it's New Jillian Who Dis.
New Jillian Who Dis. All right. Well, we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.